Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd pop on today. I've been toying with the idea of doing a mixed media box. And I did do a mixed media box at least 2 years ago. I followed Kerry Griffiths with his sort of rusty box. And I'm sort of okay with the storage side of things because when I'm watching TV and stuff at night, I have to be doing something. I can't just sit there doing nothing at all, even if it's just making notes about tomorrow. And when I first came to Qatar, I was quite gutted that I couldn't get a lot of the things that I need to do my junk journaling or paper crafts. So I looked around a lot of the stores and I sort of had to go with what I could get. And so I started doing mandala art, which is fine. I absolutely love it. It's so relaxing and therapeutic. I even bought my own molds for my candle holders. In fact, hang on, I'll get you one. So I even bought my own molds and to hold my candles. So this is one that I did, which I'm quite. I'm so happy with the way this one came out. And this was an earlier piece. And I quite like the way that's come out. I've obviously got paint on that from being outside, look. That might come off actually. Anyway, so yeah, so I make these candle holders and I bought the molds and I mould them myself. I let them dry, I prime them, paint them, and then I mandala them. And I absolutely love the process of mandala. It was so therapeutic for me, and it was such a big, huge learning curve because I don't paint. I never have done. And I don't do mixed media. I don't do mixed media, not because I don't want to, but because I'm not from an artistic background. I've always dabbled in crafts, paper crafts, but I've never really dabbled in the arts. So to learn paint consistencies and all of that for the mandala was absolutely so therapeutic to me. And I loved it. But at night time, because you have to be on a flat surface to do that, you can't do it any other way. And at night time, when I'm watching TV, I thought, I'm just stuck. We live right by the souk in Qatar, in Doha. And I love the souk. It's got to be one of my favourite places here. It's so vibrant and it's got lots of local people here, as well as it's very touristical, obviously, because it's the big souk. But I can get rope by the abundance here. No, that sounds really odd. And I love doing different stuff. So I bought some macrame cord and rope, and I started weaving baskets. And I do it at night when I'm, sitting watching TV, because I cannot sit still. I cannot sit down and just watch television. I have to be doing something else. So I make baskets, and our apartment is covered in them because you can imagine, I weave with anything. This is wool that I made a blanket from because I started, after I learned how to do the baskets and did lots of them, I then thought, what else can I find that I can use? So I started doing some loop wool blankets, and I thoroughly enjoy that as well. I've done a little bit of crochet. I don't crochet, but I've learned a stitch and done a couple of crochet blankets as well. So this was just some of the wool that was from it, but I've made lots and lots of baskets. Let me just show you a couple of those. Okay, so this was a couple of baskets that I've initially made first. These are one of my first ones that I ever made. Oh, that's come out as well. I'll fix that again in a minute. So I made them with macrame cord, and these were one of the first ones that I ever made, and I just love them. I've given them as gifts. I've made big ones, I've made tall ones, I've made all sorts. This was using a thicker rope and cord, and I made these ones. And I just love it. I'd sit there at night. I'm in the middle of making a laundry basket at the minute for my other guest bathroom. So I've just been using up lots of the dregs of wool and macrame cord that I had to see what I've got left. So they're my baskets. So I hope you like them. And I love doing it. It's been so therapeutic for me. And I still enjoy doing those, even though I know, because I'm a bit of a bugger. When I sort of know how to do something and I've achieved that, I move on to the next thing and the next thing. But I have stuck with that. I've actually been making baskets since I came here initially. It was one of the first things I ever learned to do. And I thoroughly enjoy doing it. As I say, I'm making a laundry basket at the moment. So I've got a 12-inch base and I'm just working my way up. It's getting very heavy, and that is all I can say about it. Anyway, but I did make one of those boxes. Don't really know why I want to make a box. I just want to make a box. So I thought, I want to go through the mixed media bit and just have a look and see how I can get on. I haven't got a lot of the stuff here, so I don't have any crackle glaze. I made my own texture paste the other day, which was from Jules Designs. It was her recipe, and I've got to say it's amazing. Well, as far as I know, it's amazing. I've used texture paste before, and this is way better. So I've got a bit of texture paint. Obviously, you need a box to start with. So initially, when I first saw the video for the box, it was a Kerry Griffiths video, and he used a shoebox. I haven't, unfortunately, got a shoebox here that I can use. So I've found this box. Now, it is hollow inside here, so it's not overly sturdy, but I have made them in the past with unsturdy boxes, and you know what, they're fine. By the time you've finished with it, with all the mixed media that goes into it, it's hard and it's quite stable. So this is the box that I found to do. What he does with the shoebox is so the lid on the shoebox is one that comes over the top of here, and he reinforces the outer edge with the lip from around the lid. And then the lid part, the inside of the lid part, he makes his sections for his box. And then it gets obviously covered in whatever paper, tissue, whatever you want to use as your base. Then painted, textured, stamped on. He does all sorts of things. And I just thought, I just really want to have a play. I don't want to do anything else. So I thought I would come on and do a little bit and see how we got on with this. I just wanted to try it, really. So I've sort of glued these down, and I thought what we'd do is the first process. So I thought we'd do the first process video, and then we'd go through it. And for those of you that don't do a lot of mixed media, this is probably ideal, because I don't do mixed media. I don't understand mixed media. I don't know what you can mix, what you can't mix. I'm complete novice to it all, but I just wanted to make me a real grungy looking vintage box that I can just stick some bits of ephemera in, because now my ephemera is growing, I'm running out of space. So yeah, I thought we'd do that. So the first thing, realistically, and I'll show you how to section your box off, and then we can do the first part of it, which is covering it. I'm going to cover it with book page because I think it's a great way to use your book pages. The other thing that you could use is just all your scraps, because it doesn't need to be overly neat. I mean, I'm going to put mine on fairly neat because I want them to be flat. I've tried doing it with, you know, different pieces, but I want them to be fairly neat. I don't want them to be uniform. I want them to have different bits and, you know, places on them. So I've cut them into sort of 4 sections. These are my book pages. I'm obviously going to need a lot more than that, but I just started. I haven't used tea-dyed book pages, but only because we're going to put an awful lot of paint and mixed media on this. So you don't need to have your papers prepped. Although that looks like it's tea-dyed to me. I've got some sort of staining on there. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So that's what you're going to need. You're going to need some sort of box. If you've got a lid, then obviously cut your rim off, attach it to the top of here, and then use your middle bit of your lid to create your sections, because it'll be easier for you because your lid sections will fit ideally into there because that's where it's come from. Whereas we've got to make them. And then get whatever tissue, paper, scraps, whatever you want to do to cover it. And then we're just going to Mod Podge it on or glue it on. I'm going to use Mod Podge because you do need to have your papers, whatever you're going to use, on the top. You're going to need a sealant of some sort. I've got Mod Podge. I have got a Tim Holtz medium that you could use to go on the top of. I can't think what it's called, and I'm not using that anyway. I'm just going to use Mod Podge. Now, you could use just a normal PVA glue in reality, as long as you redo whatever you decide to put on the top. So we're going to say that we're ready to put our sections in. I'm just going to put one across here so that I've got 2 halves here, just to show you how to do this part of the design. And I just need a piece of card of some sort. Is that high enough? Yeah, that's high enough. We can put that down. So you're going to need, if you haven't got the lid to your box and you're just starting with a lidless box, then we can do, you can use that. If you haven't got one, then you just need a piece of card. I'm just using the back of a cornflakes box. So I'm just going to cut that to the height. My height is 2.5. So I don't want my innards to be any more than that. Ideally, I want them to be slightly lower, but only slightly. I'm just going to make this straight because I'm going to need some of those tickets. Okay. So I'm just going to cut a 2.25 out. Okay. And then I need it to fit into there. So that gap there, where's my longer ruler? The gap into there is, looks like it's bang on 6. So I'm going to do mine at 6. Okay, I don't want it to be bendy or too bendy. This probably isn't ideal. I just need to take another smidge off that because it's not sitting properly. There we go. So I've got a piece in like that. Now I want 4 pieces of 2.25 by 2. Okay, 2.25 by 2, and I'm just going to cut those out now, and I need 4 of them. I've only got enough there to do those. Let me just throw the rubbish away. And these are going to be your hinges to hold your little divider in place. So let's get rid of that. And then what we want to do with that is we're going to create, so get it the right way, and you want to create a fold. Now I want to glue it, so you want the pattern, if you've got pattern on your cardboard, just have it on the inside, it just makes it easier. All I'm doing there is making sure that I'm folding it the right way. This one's a bit stiffer, so we'll put one of these on one end and one of those on the other. So this is how you do your dividing pieces. I'm sorry if this is glaring. And I want it to be quick and easy, so I'm just going to use a bit of, do I? Yeah, I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my 2 pieces ready. I'm going to glue on the one side, and then the hinge part needs to be on the end of there. Okay, so it needs to be on the end of there, and then I'm going to get the other one for the other side, do the same thing. And I mean, it hasn't got to be, I mean, obviously you want it level, otherwise your divider will be wonky. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to level that up by doing that, and then I'm going to just stick a couple of pins, a couple of pegs on there, just to help it glue down and stay glued while I do the other side. So again, you do one side, you put the folded edge against the edge of your divider, whatever you've chosen to use. And I'm running out of glue. Should have thought about it, shouldn't I, really? I wasn't prepared, really. I wasn't going to do this today. I was just going to have a play. But I thought I'd come on and share instead. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a minute. I just need to unblock that because it's getting blocked up. And then I'll get that divider in. So we sort of wanted to be determined of where, if we want it smack bang in the middle, that ruler's not long enough. If we want it smack bang in the middle, it's just shy. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. It's just shy. It's 9 7/8. I'm not really bothered about it being in the middle, to be honest. How will I find the middle of that? Let's do it that way and see if it's better in centimetres. No. Okay, so it's around 25. So it's going to be around 12.5 for me. Obviously, this isn't your measurements. You need to find the middle of your thing. You need to find the middle and just mark the top of where that is in the middle. Okay, because I'm putting it that way. I mean, you can put these anyhow you want. You can put one here and have a larger area here and a smaller area there. You can put one there and then put another one here, so that you've got 3 compartments. You can do two pieces and make 3 long compartments. So there's all sorts of ways of doing it. So you just pick whatever is easier for you. I'm doing it this way because I want some bigger sections to take up some of my bigger pieces that I've made. So that's the reasoning behind that. The other reason is I just need to show you how to divide it. So I don't really want to be extending the video longer by dividing it into lots of other pieces. that should be fairly dry now, and I am going to need those just to stick on the top when we are sticking it into the box. So we're all right just for time, just for a minute. So that one's going to go there, and then you're going to straighten that up, and we're going to put that one in there. Now I don't really want this middle bit to bow, and to be honest I probably haven't used thick enough card for that, so I'm not too fussed about it. I'm going to use Collall in this instance just because I need it to smudge into place. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to smudge that one, and I'm going to do the same on here and here. Whoops, I've just got some in there. I find it runny here because of how hot it is, but I'm just going to rub that into place, and I'm just going to move that across there and rub that in. Oh, I can't do it, can I? Can I? I can just about. Might not be the best thing to do though on that box, but that's what I would do. If you haven't got this lip around your box like me, yeah, I'm just going to have to keep sort of pressing it into play. Okay. It hasn't got to be overly perfect. Just remember it's the inside of your box, and as long as that sticks in place, it shouldn't be an issue really. I'm just going to use my bone folder because I don't think I got the crease of that in the right place. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is just creasing those lines down, and I'm going to do the same on this side just because I want it to be in the middle and centralised. That one's okay, and that one's okay. Okay, I have got a little bit of a gap at the bottom, but that's not going to bother me too much, purely because when we come to cover, we are going to cover these sections here with our cover pages. So in my instance, it's going to be book page. So I don't need those anymore. So you divide your box into however many sections you want. You can put 2 more down here or 1 down there and 2 either side. You can do whatever you want to do with your box. That's super, super simple. And then all we're going to do is we're going to get our pages. We're going to get our Mod Podge. And I'm going to need a brush. Sorry about my chair. I keep saying to my husband it needs oiling. And I don't actually know where to oil it. I've oiled it in a few places and it hasn't changed anything. So I do apologise. So all I'm actually going to do, now I started on the bottom last time, but I think I'm going to start on the inside just to show you what we need to do. So I'm just going to Mod Podge an area on the inside, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this bit purely because you can see it better on the camera, and plus it will give you an idea of how I did it. So I didn't come out that far. Okay, then I'm going to put a piece on this side. Don't worry about direction or anything like that. And I'm just going to get that right in the corner, and then I'm going to put it over the middle. Okay. And then when you've got it on, just smooth it down with your brush and give it a good old coat with your Mod Podge. Okay, yeah, I should have done that middle bit a little bit thicker with that card. And then what we're going to do is let me just stick that bit down as well. So I'm just sticking this side back down as best I can. And then I've given that a good old Mod Podge there. Then for the corner bit, I've just folded a piece of paper in the middle and then folded the end up a little bit, and then I've just ripped down that side, and what I want to achieve is that, so that I can stick that right in the corner there, like so. Okay, so we've got to Mod Podge that in a bit. Now you don't have to be this precise. The first time that I did this, I didn't make it as smooth and precise. And it doesn't really matter. You can put this on however you want to, in reality. So I'm just going to fold it and stick that into there. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I want to stick it right in that corner, and then I want to straighten that out and put that along there and along there. And just smooth that down. I'm then just going to get some more glue and just glue that bit on the bottom there. And as I say, you don't have to worry about the direction of this. I'm just going to rip that on the top there so that I can get a nice coat of that down. And then we're just going to fold that over the top. So that's what you do for the corners. I sort of prefer it to be a bit more, yeah, I like it a bit more flat. So I'm finding this way a little bit better than just slap dabbing a load of paper on, scrap paper on. So I've continued on a little bit, and then I come to this corner, and because it's proving a little bit difficult to do this corner, so if you can see on this bit here, I've still got a part of the box showing where I put that piece in that corner. So I thought I'd come back and show you what I did. So, but I want to do it in the middle. So I'm just gonna tear the up a little bit so that I can put this piece into the corner, leave this piece on the top, and then fold it over. So I'm just going to glue that in. So all I've done is rip it down the centre of that page. I don't think I had enough on the back of there, just bear with me. So I'm hoping that you can understand what I'm doing. So I just want to get this piece stuck on first, just to get this corner. Now, if you were doing this a bit more slapdash and you were just putting, you know, torn pieces of book page or, you know, scrap papers, which is what I did the first time. And I haven't got the box here because obviously I left it in the UK. But I did one earlier with a, yeah, just sort of go down this edge where the rip part is and just make sure So I like to do the corner first. So get the corner first and then create that little patch that needs patching up. And then we can just go down and do this side. Sorry, I keep being out of frame. And then what I did on this side was I literally did just fold it in. But you can use your scissors. If I can find my scissors, and I can't, let me just grab a pair. And you can just feel where your corner is and just cut it. And then what you can do is just fold it over. So fold this part over, Mod Podge, nice and tight. Nice and tight. And then the same for this side. Pull that down nice and tight. And then you have a nice clean corner there. And just make sure that that cut edge is Mod Podged and stuck down properly. Okay, so what I did here, which I didn't do at the very beginning, was I'm going on to the bottom before I come up and over, if that makes sense. I'll show you what I mean on this next piece, because it's a better way than sticking it to the crease of your box. So we get our piece of paper, and then what I'm doing is, because everything's got to be stuck, and I do want those covered, I do want those creases in there covered. So I'm going along the bottom first, like so, creasing that into that crease, and then pulling up with my Mod Podge. And I didn't use the glue like this the last time. I sort of just glued all my pieces on and then I Mod Podged afterwards. But it's a bit of a pain and a bit of a faff doing it that way, because you have to wait for it to dry, and then you have to wait for it to dry again. And then I'm just going to bring that down to there. And that's the sort of effect you want. And I go all the way around my inners first, and then we'll come and do the sides. Then when that's dry, we'll turn it over, do the bottom, or do the bottom before you do the sides. That might be a better way. So I'm just going to show you a little bit more how to do on this edge part here, but only because this is essential that this gets glued to the bottom of your box. So I just want to get those papers on and show you what I mean. So this again needs to be folded, and I can only fold it a little bit in this time because I need it to cover a certain place. So lift that up. I'm going to glue that to there. I found it easier on that other corner. So all I'm doing is I'm just creating my corner bit. It doesn't have to be precise. You just need to be able to get it in that corner. So I want to push that then in with my brush, because I want it on the bottom of my box and I want it on the side of my box, and I want it in that corner at the same time. And that's how I'm going to achieve that. I've just got to pull that piece up again, just bear with me. Yeah, just get a pokey tool and just bring that back over, just so that when you fit it into this corner it's straight, then put it all the way down. Okay, then we're just going to tear the top of that, or cut it if you want to be more precise with your scissors. Far too impatient I am. And then just get that one glued down to there, and then this one gets glued over the top of your divider, and you want that to be like so. And then what we'll do is we'll get another piece into this divider so that you can see what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm pushing it in. I want that divider to be in the middle there. So I sort of want to keep getting that straight. Okay, and then I'm going to push that over the top. It is a bit of a messy job, this. So if you don't like mess, it probably isn't worth having a go. And I'm going to put one more piece on this end here, just because the very first piece that I put on level with the bottom instead of feeding it on the bottom. So we're going to do that. Get that all glued up. Don't know whether that was glued enough there. Okay, got that done. And then we're just going to fold that over the top there. And we'll just glue along the edge. Make sure all that's Mod Podged on. Okay, and then you'll do the bottom obviously with your papers. And then so you're going to do this side the same. And then once I've done that side, I'll come back. Okay, so this is what it should be looking like now. I've got one side which is almost dry, and it does sturdy the box up quite well. So I'm quite pleased about that. We've managed to do the inside of all the way around the edges and all of the corners, so that they're all nice and neat. As I said, if you don't particularly like doing it so neat and flat and precise, just, use scraps like this. Doesn't matter what direction they're going, whether they overlap, as long as you cover all of your corners and your bottom bits and where they're joined and everything, that's fine. I did my first box like that, and it works fine. You just make sure that it's all flat. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to wait for this to dry. I'm then going to do the bottom, and I'm going to do the bottom in exactly the same way. I'm just going to do it, come back round, and then I'm going to do my sides, because my sides are where I'm going to or what I'm going to see. So I want the sides to be okay and not just mishmash, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so I hope you're following me. Don't you just love gluey fingers? Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, lovely. So I'm going to carry on and do that, and then once it's completely dry, I will come back and we will get the paint out and see what we're going to get. So yeah, I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I'm back. It's completely dry. It's nice and hardened off. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. Now, the process of the mixed media box, and I did have a play. Now, this didn't work out at all for me. I've coloured it with a couple of colours and done a bit of stencil work on it. And yeah, when I come to do the sprayy bits, I haven't got any alcohol sprays, and I've ordered some, but they're pigment inks and they won't dissipate in water, so that doesn't work. So I tried a few other different ways. So I've used a few inks, and that doesn't work for me either. So what I've decided to do is, yes, I am going to grunge it up, but I'm going to keep it in the monochrome. Now what I did was don't ask me why I bought them here, because it was from when I used to do candles, wax melts and stuff. And I had these soap colourings, and these dissipate in water superbly. They're good for colouring. So what I did was I got some of my little tiny spray bottles, and I've made up some colours. So I've done like a duck egg blue colour, I've done a rust colour, I've done a brown, and I've done a greeny sort of grunge green colour, and they work perfectly. So I'm really, really happy with that. I have got some mopped up papers, which I'll show you in a minute. But so that's what I did. Now I've tried doing it on, obviously on here with some paper, and that's worked out fine. But then I found this in the cupboard while I was looking for my inking and stuff, and I thought, oh, what if I just leave it black and white and just grunge it up with some numbers and stamps and stuff? So that's what I'm going to try. So the next process for me would be to colour this, and because I've gone with it is a dark grey actually, but I might put some white in it. So I've got like a Payne's grey colour, which is a beautiful colour actually. But I do think that that will, oh see, it's bluey in colour. Oh, I don't know whether that's the right thing to do. It's dark, isn't it? I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. Oh, well, let's just play along, shall we? Oh, I suppose it'll look quite nice. What do you think? Yeah, wipe on, wipe off. Let's do a bit of Karate Kid. So I'm just making it a little bit more flexible to work with. And use a wet wipe to wipe on and wipe off, because I think it will make it a little bit better. So yeah, so I'm just going to dip that in. I'm just going to pop it in different places just to get a bit of colour in there. What it does is it picks up on, and you can wipe this off obviously because it's acrylic paint. So it picks up on the so if you make a mistake, just wipe it off. It's quite easy. I like to dab. I think it looks quite good. Picking a little bit up and just, I want it dark in areas but lighter in some. Okay. So on the corners, I'm just going to dab it a little bit just to get that. So I quite like that. Looks great on camera. Okay. So I'm not going to do the bottom really. So I'm just going to really just do that all the way around the box for my first bit of colour. And hold it there. And then we'll leave it to dry. So that's the first bit that I'm going to do. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I've just gone all the way around and I've got to leave that now to dry. I'm just going to rub on the inside or do a little bit on the top of here. I don't want it to be too dark, that's the trouble. Purely because I want to, and all I'll do is I'm just going to go in, just because I'm not going to do or decorate any of this inside here. So I'm just going to get the wet wipe and just colour it with this first colour. I'll probably put bits of others in when I come to do it, but I'll see. So if you need a bit more, just dab it in a bit more. So I'm just going to whitewash that inside there. I love the way that it picks up on those darker bits. Look, that's cool. And that's where I've had excess glue, I think. think it is anyway. Yeah, because it's going to be filled with ephemera or stuff. There's no real need to decorate in here. But I just want to just take that page colour away. So yeah, quite like that. That's cool. So I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then I'm going to be putting on some texture paint. I might actually go in with a bit of white actually, just to lighten and give that a bit of depth. I've got another one here. Just wipe that off there though. I don't want that tainting it. See, my fingers are covered in it. Just give that a bit of water down. So this is just ordinary acrylic paints that I use for my mandalas really. So yeah. And it's mixed media, right? I'm assuming it's mixed media. I don't know anything about mixed media. This is just a trial run. Okay, so we're just going to see what this looks like in bits, areas. Oh yeah, that looks okay. They're probably going to come in and make it a bit darker when I come to, because I've found a way of actually getting the runs that I want. That's lightening it up a little bit. Plus the white gives it a little bit of depth, I believe. So it says. Okay, so that's enough, I think. I may as well just do a little bit of dabbing in there while I've got some on my thing. Okie dokie, so I can wipe that one up in case I need to use it for anything else. Just give that a little bit of dabby there. So it won't take long to dry, and then what I'm going to do is come back and I'm going to paint these on before I do any texture paint. So let me just move that out of the way so I have room. Now you can keep these cloths if you want to, because these rip perfectly and clusters. I've got use of that yet. So they do work quite well for that if you want to. You can sort of wash them out a little bit so that they're not as dark, and it does work. But they're great for like clusters and stuff. Blue. Okay, grey. Okay, so I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've got the Mod Podge. I've got a few of my bits and pieces that I want to stick on here. I just thought it to be a little bit different. So I'm sort of going to just Mod Podge some areas where I think it could go. I mean, this might end up getting covered up, but we won't know, will we, unless we try. I sort of want that to go up that end there. So I'm just going to get this or these stuck on. Okay. They don't have to be perfectly flat. If you crease it, you crease it. I wouldn't worry too much. There's going to be some texture paste going on and things like that. What about sort of want that for the front bit there. Yeah, I like that one. So I'm just going to stick a few of these on random. It doesn't matter that I'm going over the top or underneath. I just want a hint of the... You could stamp this actually. Instead of doing it this way, you could actually stamp. So you could use whatever you've got stamp-wise, I suppose. I just found this when I was looking for through my inks. And I thought, oh, that might be a good idea. Yeah, it's quite nice, huh? It's coming. I'll stick a little on here. This one. Oh, I'm liking it. I really do. So, as I say, you could stick, you could get your stamps out and just stamp images on, or words or numbers or whatever it is that you want to do. I sort of don't want it on the front. Yeah, like that. So I'm just going to go all the way around and get these glued on in the areas that I want them. And yeah, shall I come back? I don't suppose you want to watch me do this, do you? And then we'll go over and do some texture when I come back. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That's cool. Because I'm going to have to let it dry anyway. So what I'll do is I'll do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so my papers have dried from when I did these. So all I've done with those, like I said, was I just used some dye in those little bottles, and I've just put some in and added water and made these 4 pieces up because I've only got 4 spray bottles. But I will get some more because this is the colour of this one, which is the rust that I wanted, and I think that's worked perfectly. So I've got all of these which I've done with splodging. I just grabbed my pieces of scraps to just splodge up. This was a green that I didn't like first off, but it's actually dried quite nice and I actually quite like it, but I didn't make that up in the ink. I then added some brown, not that one, I added then some brown and some other colours to it, so I'll never be able to recreate that again, but yeah, I love that colour, which is, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I haven't done a splodge with that one. Did I not do any splodges with that green? Obviously not. Anyway, it's beautiful. So that was the rusty coloured one that I did with some brown that I mopped up, and then this was the duck egg glue that I was trying to get. So as you can see, the more water I added, that was the first one. So the more water I added, the lighter the colour became. And all I did was I added some blue with one little drop of green in it. And I love that colour. That colour is amazing. So I'm quite happy with the blue. So there's some more stamping pages for me to get on with, which is great. So it's pretty dry now. So give that a go with whatever you've got. I mean, I'm just trying to create something from the stuff that I do have and that I can get my hands on. It's just difficult for me here because obviously I just can't, go on Amazon and order anything. It's driving me insane. But, it is what it is, and we're trying to work around it. So as much as I haven't got mixed media stuff, I'm being able to make up what I need. So I now want to stencil. So what I want to do, so all my stuff is dry, and what I want to do is, I've got this swirly one which I quite liked, and I thought it would be fitting with the flowers. So, and I've got this corner piece here which I quite like on here. Now you can use your crackle glaze, you can use your texture pastes, you can use your you know, whatever you have to hand. I made up some, and I think I mentioned this earlier on. It was from Jules at Jules Designs. She has a recipe on there, and this works fabulously. It's a smooth paste. It's not. I just need some more talcum powder. It's just talcum powder, white acrylic paint, and some PVA glue, and it's perfect. So we're going to now just place that where I want it. Now I'm just going to hold it, and we're just going to put it on those bits where I want it. I'm hoping this is going to work, because I've never done this before. Well, I've only ever done it once. That's a lie. So I have done it once. Shall we see if it's worked? Oh, it has. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Look at that. That's perfect. And then on this one, I'm going to just do it this way round on this corner. This is going to prove a bit difficult because I can't hold it flat. What if I do it on the bottom like that, so that I can hold it there? I've got to be careful I don't splodge it on that bit. So now we're just going to put our texture paste on in the areas that we want it on. I didn't quite have this in the area that I wanted. I didn't go quite on the end, but you know, it works. Take that off. And then just take the bits off where you don't want it. It's very messy, this mixed media. Oh, but look at the design. I'm liking it a lot. And then so what I want to do now is I just want to put, because I don't really want to keep covering all my pretties up. And then I'm just going to put that here. No, don't touch that. See, I would generally use, so I just want that swirl from there. So I just want some of this and that. I'm probably using far too much actually, but it's new to me. I mean, if you're more comfortable taping this down and then just waiting in between, obviously because I'm on video, I want to get as much done as I can so that the video is not too long. Shall we see if that's worked? Oh, it's a bit smudged. Oh, but it's nice, eh? Just going to take that off the back. I don't want. Oh yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna go round all four sides and just do a little bit of stenciling on both sides, all four sides, and let it dry. And then I'll come back and show you what we've got, and we'll do the next step. So I'm going to do that because I'm going to have to leave it to dry, I think. I can't hold it and do it at the same time. So I'm going to have to leave it to dry and then turn it around. So it is a bit of a process, but I do think that the result is brilliant. What do you think? I love that. That's brilliant. Love it. Okay, so we're going to come back in shortly and we'll show you what we've done. Okay, so I just finished the box. I thought I was videoing and I wasn't. So I'm going to have to just talk you through the last bit of the process. I'm so sorry. The video wasn't on and it wasn't running and I come to end it and it wasn't even going. So I've just talked my way through all of what I did. So what I did was the box was just plain with the white on. I used my blue spray that I made earlier. I spritzed it with some of the blue spray and dabbed it off on all four of my corner, sides. I used a bit of hickory smoke to create a sort of grey, but I've got to say that it was a bit too light, and I'll show you what I mean. It was sort of a bit too light, so we just went straight to the black soot. So I've gone around with the black soot on a finger dobber, and I will do a bit more so that you can see. It doesn't matter that I've gilded it. And I literally just darkened every part of the areas that I wanted to darken, and I've brought it in where I wanted the darker bits to be and then just gone over. Now I have watered this down in some places. So what I did was I do it and then I spray it and then let it run a little bit. Yeah, so that's what I've done. And then I sprayed it, a little bit of water on the bits that I've done, and then I've just let that run through. And then I've used a cloth, a bit of tissue, and I've just dabbed it clean. Not dry, just dabbing off the excess water. So we did that. And to create the extra darker parts, I've just literally just gone in extra with that. And then once we did that and we got it to where we wanted it to be, I used some metallic gilding paste. It's a metallic polish. I think it's a cosmic shimmer. I'm almost sure this is a cosmic shimmer. Oh, it says it's Creative Expressions on the bottom, but I thought it was a cosmic shimmer one. And it is. I've had it years. I bought this one and an aqua colour one, which is absolutely gorgeous, which would have gone nice on there, actually. I should have thought about it. And, I hardly ever use this. I mean, I've literally had it years and you can see that I've not used it. And all I did was I just dabbed my finger in and I just rubbed in certain areas to catch the stencil parts. And I've literally just gone in like that and done it like that. And then I've stopped. And that's what we've got. I absolutely love the way that it came out. But I will have to show you, I did that with the box that I did earlier that I wasn't going to put it in the bin. I was going to continue to use it, but I thought I'm not giving up. I'm going to have a go. So before I did this, I sort of did this. And I absolutely adore the way this has come out. I mean, the feel of it and the colour of it, and I mean, the four sides, they're just absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And if I'd have realised that this was going to come out as well as this, I would have kept with the same colours for this. It was just that I found that decoupage tissue and thought, nah, let's go with the black and white one. But, in saying that, they're both very different, but they are really, really cool. I'm so glad that I did it and have tried it. It's a messy process and I don't really do mess. I literally hate mess. I have to clean up, I have to wash my hands, I have to do all sorts of things in between. So that's why it takes me, you know, very bitty on the video. So I do apologise for that. But I would definitely give this another go. I absolutely adore the way that these have come out. I just love it. I mean, look at that. Look at that for a texture and a I just adore it. Look at it. The green and the oranges and all I did with this was exactly the same. All I've done is used my inks. I used Vintage Photo, Walnut Stain, brushed corduroy and frayed burlap to create the colours. Now the green was the ink that I made up earlier. This ink, this dirty green that I made up with the brown. And this literally is just ink and water. I've not put anything else in it. I've just literally done it that way. Obviously, you know, I had to make something because I've got no sprays. But I just absolutely adore the way this has come out. And every side is just different and gorgeous. And the gorgeousness of it, I just love it. Yeah, I just do. I just think it's fabulous. And I mean, and as much as you cannot see a lot of this texture paste now, in real life, it actually does. It is just stunning. It's just stunning. And I'm literally so glad that I made them. So I hope that was helpful. I'm no mixed media artist by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have any tools, specific inks or anything. I have literally gone with what I've got, which is my distress inks. I've made up a couple of these from some inks that I had from, well, I'll show you. I think I showed you earlier on in the video, but it's these. They're soap colourings. And I had these, God knows why I bought them to Qatar. I've had these years. I had them when I was doing wax melts. And this is what I used to colour my wax with. And they come in this sort of, these tiny bottles. I got so many. There is one, the brown's gone now because I've just used it all making those. So I literally have just used what I've got. Now, I did try and buy some alcohol inks, and I must have, well, when you search on Temu, you search, but it gives you lots of other options, and I've obviously picked the wrong ones. I've bought pigment ink. They won't work in water, but they're just not the same as alcohol inks. So I've had to try and order some more, but they haven't arrived yet. So yeah. But I just love these. So please try and give it a go, because as I said, with limited supplies, I've managed to make these 2 boxes, and I'm in love with the way that they turned out. I've got to say that this one is my favourite. This beauty here is just my favourite. I just absolutely love it, the way that it's come out. I like this one, and the only reason that I didn't stay with those colours was because I just didn't think I could do any more with it. But in between drying times and things, and I've had a bit of a play, I came up with this. So, you know, it just goes to show that even when you think that it's no good and it's worthy of the bin only, you can actually still create. And that's what I wanted to achieve today. I wanted to be able to achieve something that I could create with just the supplies that I had on hand. And I've made it work as far as I'm concerned. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please do share any of your pictures. I love reading comments and seeing what you've made. And I hope that I've inspired some of you to just give it a go. I know it's messy, and I don't like that either. But this is, you know, you're not going to be doing it every single day. This is just part of a bigger plan. So I'm glad I've tried it, and I definitely would do it again. I mean, I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I would do it again. And I love the way that this has come out. This I would do definitely for a cover, a journal cover, because I think it'd be amazing. I think it would actually be amazing. So the only thing that I'm actually going to add to these now is some splatters. That's all I'm going to do. Just some splatters on a brush, just to finish it off and just give it that extra bit of definition. And I would call it a day. So, okay, so I went away and I splattered. Oh my God. I can't tell you what mess I was in. It's gone absolutely everywhere. It's gone over my speaker, over my computer, over everything that wasn't covered up. So if you come to splatter on a large area like this, make sure that you do it in a box, because I've just had a major clean up. But the end results are amazing. I'll show you this one first. Actually, I can show you them both because I can do it like that. So I don't know if you can see. I've got it as close as I possibly can, really, because otherwise you are not going to see the full length of it. But, oh my God, it's just made such a difference. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. All three sides. I put a few extra numbers on this one as well, just so that they do actually match. Bit matchy. And there's all four sides, all splattered up. But oh my God, what a mess. So yeah, if you're going to do a splattering of a bigger area, cover everything up before you do it, because I've just had a really big major cleanup a day. So yes, the other thing is this morning when I got up, I am about 17 subscribers away from my first K, and I'm just so overwhelmed with the amount of subscribers that I've had in the last month that I'm just over the moon. Now I'm going back to the UK hopefully next week. So if I get to the 1K subscribers before I go, then I'm going to do a very, very quick giveaway, because while I'm in the UK, I can get it posted. I can't do that here, which is why I don't take part in swaps and all of that sort of thing. I can't send people any, gifts or, random acts of kindness gifts or anything like that, or happy mail, purely because of where I am. You would never see it again once it leaves here. So I'd have to be in the UK to actually do that. And because I never really know when I'm going home, I can't plan ahead. But I'm hoping that if I get to my 1K subscribers before I go next week, that I can do this giveaway, because I would really, really like to show my appreciation for everyone that's subscribed to my channel and who follows me on YouTube, because every single one of you make a difference to me on an emotional level completely. I can't thank any of you enough. So I would love to be able to do that for you guys. So yeah, that was my news. But yeah, so have a go. Post anything that you make or achieve mixed media wise. I think it would be great to see what you achieve with your limited supplies. So yeah, stay safe, have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.